Hello YouTube and welcome to yet another full stack app tutorial. In the last episode, it's been a while, we had created our Night to Do app and had our register function and our login, and we got all the routing sorted. So just before the holiday break, we were able to, log into our to do application. And I'll just do that now. There we go. Then we enter, and then we've logged in, and then we can log out. So now we've got like a web app that connects to our back end, that we can register users, log in, log them out. And now we want us to start building like, the to-do functionality. But prior to this, and for this episode, I did a bit of a mess up where I imported the entire server when I was wanting to get a particular type from the server. I think it was the user type, what the object was shaped as. But when I imported that, I imported the entire server. So when it tried to compile and build the web app, it installed a load of additional packages that we don't actually need on the front end. It was because it was trying to simulate, oh, I'm going to be running the server on the front end, which is not what we wanted. So in this episode, we're going to tidy up all those packages that we weren't meant to install. And then we're going to then actually add another workspace in the monorepo called types, and we're going to tidy up and put all our typing information. So what does a user look like, what does the register arguments, login arguments all look like. We're going to put that all into one workspace called types, and then we're going to import that in our server, client, and then the front end. So we'll avoid that idea in the future of maybe misappropriating and importing the server into our front end web app. I was thinking about avoiding having to do that, but actually it's probably good practice to do so. So without further ado, we will get stuck in then to first clear up that package .json file that tells us what packages that we've installed, to remove all of those additional packages that happened to come across when we compiled it in the last tutorial. So if we go to the top level package .json, you can see that there's a whole bunch of packages that got added, and actually what we need to do is just remove URL and util. We don't need any of Punicode. Process will still keep, because I believe that was the one that we do need. Prettier, we do, and then the rest, buffer, crypto, and events, powerful, all of those can go away. Again, because it was trying to compile that server code on the front end, which we do not need. So that's just that simple thing of just clearing up those packages, and yeah, that will save some space. So now we need to create a new folder, and we're going to call this one types. And in our PNPM workspace, we're going to create a new file here, new package. We'll call it types for it. So we've got our server package, our client package, the web app, and now our type, which is going to take out all our typing information. So we're going to grab that's already stored in our client and server and web app. We're going to put all that into one place and then bring it back into our server, client, and web app. So it's a bit of like just joining up some dots to make it a bit cleaner going forward. So in our types, we can create our package, new file, package.json. And if I split this to the right so we can see both, because I'll just use our top level one or one of us as a reference. We want the schema, so to help with VS Code tell us, give us some type hinting on our JSON file here. It's going to be of type package. We're going to name it in here as types, and we're going to do version. Doesn't necessarily matter at the moment in this demo, so we're just going to like 0.01. Description we can leave blank. Main, we'll put it as we'll just keep it as index.js, or actually .ts. It's going to be a TypeScript file, and we're going to put it in the source folder actually. So we'll put that there. We'll see that in a moment. It's going to be a type module. Okay, so it's going to use the modern JavaScript syntax, and We won't need any scripts because we're not going to be doing anything with this. It's just going to hold our types. But we do need a couple of dependencies. And I'm just going to drag those across from our existing ones. So copy and paste these from no one. So we're going to import our dependencies Sinclair type box. So that's our, if we go back to our server, let's do that quickly and go to our types file. Where do we store that here? Gonna have to remember where everything's stored. Aha, types.ts, there it is. In here we have all those different type informations, and we used type box there to help us authenticate, well, not authenticate, validate JSON objects going through our server to say, you know, we're going to receive one from the front end. Is it of the structure, you know, contains an email, contains a password? Of course it does, and it doesn't bring any additional properties. So we've got all of those. So we'll need that in our, you know, our type package that we're creating, and we need our types from Loki.js because we're going to import this collections type and define our collections in this top level as well. Types work package, workspace. So with that created, we can then create our source folder and our index.ts. And that's all just the basics of creating that additional package. So it's not much code going to be there really. If I just close our server, that was just running my to-do app, and we do pnpm install on our top level. It also hopefully resolve this. It might resolve some of the cyclic dependencies. But there we go. So what we've just done there, we've installed. It's then just checked our package.json, seen that we've updated them. So it's removed all those dev dependencies that were imported by accident when we imported the server code on our front end, and it's updated our dependencies in our types. We've created a node modules folder for us, all done there. So it's imported those. Now it's a case of bringing all of those type informations into our type package. So if I open up our server again, for example, we just need to take all of this information. The one that we will keep here, I believe it's going to be this one here, because we're just going to keep that because it's the only one that's only used in the server. We could bring it along with us, but we can. Let's just copy that across first before I delete it all to the side. So we're just going to copy, like I say, all this typing information from our server into here, and we're going to have to import our. So I'm just going to copy and paste our format registry, paste that all across, and import Loki.js. And on this one, and maybe it's good practice going forward, if you're only using it to say it's of this type, then always, you know, good to add the type there to further code and software to realize you don't want the actual collection objects, you just want its typing information, what structure it is. So we've imported all of those across. We can remove the type args there, and we can keep it here, but we've duplicated it, and if we delete all of those here, then now we can move those dependencies because we're not using them. We do need locals, and we need response body. So we'll copy back response body here, back across, and we need locals, so we can import that one from our types now. So let's do import locals. What we'll need to do first, because it won't recognize it, of course we need to add now in our index.ts, not package.json, sorry, we need to add it as our dev dependency. Or actually a dependency, because we're going to use those types, the validation for the register args in here. So I'll just put it down as an explicit dependency. So we'll put types, and we just copy that workspace star. There we go. Just do pm install again, just so we can link the packages together. Shouldn't take 2 seconds. There we go. And then hopefully if we go into import here and locals, there we go. And as we can see at the top there, it's getting our types package that we've linked to it, and it's imported that. So now we've got our locals here defined from our, like global package types. And that's how we can now use those types throughout our application. So we will need to double check our files here where it's asking for types. So for example here, we know they exist, but they're not on a global package now. We just need to update that. And we don't need to export all the types anymore because we're going to use them from our global types package. Just double checking globals.ts, we're okay. In user, there will be some. Here we go. So we just need to close that one off. The only one that we've kept, we'll need to import again, is the type args.send. So we can close that one. We could import it in the top level and add HyperExpress because it's only used in the server. I thought I'd keep it out just for now. Same again here. We need the empty object. There we go. And of course, empty objects at the moment is only being used on the server, but Typebox we could import on the front end, so you could do some of this checking in the client as well. So before it even tries to hit our server, we could do some validation using those validation checks. So user we've done, and ping we are okay. So we should be all good on that server end. Run. Okay, so I just close the bottom server that was running, clear that up, and see if it just starts up. It should be okay. There we go. So it seems to be all good, all well. Now let's get to our client. In here we've got a type called HTTP response. I mean, we can, if we want, let's just remove that and put that in the top level. It's not requiring any additional packages. Let's just put that in there for completeness, and then we can then delete this file so then start cleaning up our code a little bit. And in here we'll need to update this one now to types, but also update the package. So we need, because it's only typing information, we can just put here for now, types. Oops. And again, we just need that workspace all. And again, if we just do npm install just to refresh our package list, so it does all the linking for us. We can see now it's had that error, but now it's updated itself, so we've got the types imported. That's all looking good. And then the user.ts, we were originally getting those from the server, so we can get those just from the types now. And actually, yep, so now we can then separate the server because we're not getting type information from the server, so we can remove that from the package.json. So prevent any opportunity of having to import this server code again, prevent that accident of importing it into the front end. So we've got those types, and we are using them as types, so again, just could use that type keyword at the top there. And that's all of that, all good, all done. And then we need to go to our web app, and again, we need to now set our dependencies. We are going to be only using them as types, so we just do types, import workspace all. There we go. clear that. So we just then do pm install. See what we're doing. How we're doing. Fantastic. There we go. So that's all just updated those links. And now we are looking through the pages and the app just for any clients. I think maybe in the context we might have one. No, we're just taking the client there. We've got the decoded user tokens. We've imported here. Yeah, we created our own user scopes here, but now we've got it in our type up here. We can actually just import this now from our user scopes actually in enum, so we can just do user scopes from types. Oops. Oh, it's not the relative folder. We just need the high level link. There we go. So now we're using our types package. Just double check any of these other files. So that was the app context file there. What have we got here? We've got, oh yeah, just the tsconfig error there. Requiring us to do a promise constructor. It's okay, it should not be that's not a problem. Just need to fix some of the typing information that it's getting from. All of those looking good. There's nothing that's requiring our types. We're looking okay. And the components, nothing on here. I think we should be good. Right. So we'll do pm start now. Should be all built. That's fantastic. We are back where we started, I believe. That's it. So let's just check if it's still. Oh, have I got the run server running? Yep. Let's just check that we are back where we started. Log in. Yep. So we log in, log out. Nothing's changed in our build. It's all building fine. What we've just done now is clean up the web app. So we have all our types in this top level package that we then import in our client, our server, our web app, wherever we need them to use them. So it keeps, again, the code base a little bit cleaner. And we've cleaned up that package.json, so it's not installing, had all those packages installed. I don't believe there was anything in these ones. These are all what we needed before, so that's great. So we are now really, that's it. We've cleaned those bits up. What we need to do now is just to get on with really getting on to the next stage of creating the to-do form. So, you know, we want to have someone who going into the website, go to their home page, and it'll be now like a list of to-dos with a form. They can add a to-do, maybe a remove button as well to remove a to-do. So thank you very much for watching this quick one, just to tidy up our code base, and we'll now continue on to the next episode where we will create that to-do backend, see how we get on. Maybe we'll get straight onto the adding the client and then back into the front end. So it's very similar to what we've done with the users. Now it's just with another collection called to-dos. Thanks for watching and see you soon.